Okay. As I said, Nick's he's on this fast and he's been on it for a few days. So you weren't feeling up to coming and doing this tonight. So you've got me all to yourself. But I'm going to take you on. It's a Samantha. I know you get. I'm just looking at your midriff there as you're walking, and it's. I shouldn't say it's distracting, but it is. Right. So anyway, Nick's closed his eyes. Chris has fallen off his chair, and I broke out in a sweat. So yeah, if you could lift the camera up, that would be great. Right, where are we? What was I doing? What was I saying? Completely threw me off what I was saying now. Right, yeah, so we're going to take you on a journey. We're going to do what I call a dream architectural therapy. We're going to take you into hypnosis and take you on this guided journey. I think some of you have been on it before with me, but in it, we're going to find the answers to any questions you've been asking about what you need to do to move to where you want to be. And we're going to have a look at wherever you want to be. So, your dream life. Look at what's look at your life and think about the things that are no longer serving you. We can let go of all those things and tap into all of your inner powers to achieve what you want to achieve. And I'm going to take you to that space of unconditional self-love, because that's my mantra, as you know. Hi, Mandy. Mandy's here. Denise is here. The gang's all here. Pretty much get going. So is there anything else, anything you want me to suggest for you while you're in that state? Is there anything, just, you can either put it in the chat or put your mic on. Yeah, darling, what would you like?
I don't know if anybody else has this problem, but I'm a really horrible jaw clencher to the point where I'm grinding my teeth. I've actually lost a couple teeth now because I've cracked them below the jawline. So
Right.
just being relaxed and loosening the jaw and not clenching and not grinding would just be heaven.
Okay, we're going to do that. Your last night of clenching your jaw.
Thank you so much.
Any unconscious tension. Oh, look, the little dog's here. Can you see her? She's come to do some. My little therapy dog. Look, let's see it. Look, who's this? Look on here.
I put mine in the chat.
Okay, she's come to help me with the therapy tonight. It's my little therapy dog.
Oh,
right. Yes.
Freddie, could you include in there, how do I want to say it? Not eating foods that aren't good for me. And I don't even mean junk food, just foods that I like that cause me to have a bad reaction. Because
So eating nutritious, healthy food.
And not stress eating. I've been stress eating.
Who's that?
Allison.
Allison, right. No stress eating. Right. Let's sort all this out this evening. It's going to be a cure-all tonight. Every one of you, when you leave here, will be like super, whatever it is, $7 billion person.
Freddie.
Yeah. Hi, Liz.
Hi, darling. Could we have absolutely no barriers, a clear path to a beautiful future, whatever that is?
Okay. So, bruxism, clear path. Look at Gwyn laughing like oh. Just kiss the end of my robe and I'll sort it all out for you. Right. Clear path to where you want to go. Not eating any rubbishy foods. Not grinding your teeth. Yeah. I'll have a look at all the other things you want to achieve. Let's go of any limitations.
How about getting organized, staying organized?
Well, I've got Doreen for that. Otherwise, I wouldn't even be here. But yes, I'll put that in there. So organized, clear path, stacking up. The requests are coming in. Right. Barriers to higher income. Okay. Take us to the land of plenty. Okay, Nick, we're going now. Okay. Right. This is going to be, just be ready to lose yourself in this evening and just let go of any barriers, because they're not real. None of it's real. I'm not real. None of this exists outside of your skull, except as perception. So think about where you want to be. I'm going to ask those 5 questions. You've heard me ask them before. And if you answer these questions, there is very little you cannot do. The first 2 questions, I know some of you are bored of me saying it now, come from my friend Sandra Grace. And her 2 questions are this: what has to happen for you to love yourself enough to treat yourself to the life, the health, the finances, the happiness that you want? Take a moment to think about it. What has to happen for you to love yourself enough to treat yourself to that life? And that's her first question. And I believe that's the best question in the world we can ask ourselves and ask our clients. The second question, which is equally as important, is this: if you're not living that life right now, if not, why not? Think about it. If you're not living that life right now, if not, why not? And my 3 questions, which I tag on to Sandra's, are this: what do you want? What do you actually want? Forget about, realistically, I'd have that, or, with the wind behind me, I might achieve that. What do you want? How would you like to feel an hour from now? If I could wave my magic wand, which the dog's just run off with, by the way, so I haven't got it. But if I could wave that magic wand, how would you be an hour from now? What would your life look like 6 months from now if I could wave that magic wand? How would you be physically if I could wave my magic wand? So what do you want? That's my first question. What do you need to achieve that goal? Think about it, because you will know exactly what you need to achieve that goal. You're all super intelligent. That's why you're here. Those who aren't are not on this call. That's the rest of the world. But you lot, super intelligent. So what do you need to do to make that happen? Well, that's the change in your life. And the third question I ask, and it's a difficult one, and it's the one where the majority of people, not you lot, but the majority of people fall down. And my third question is this: what are you willing to do to create that life you want? If it's a physical goal, what are you willing to do? If it's a financial goal, what are you willing to do? How badly do you want this? If it's a spiritual goal or emotional goal, relationship goal, what are you willing to do? So those are the 5 questions. What has to happen for you to love yourself enough? If you're not living the life you absolutely want right now, if not, why not? What do you actually want? Not what you think you deserve or don't deserve. What do you want? What do you need to do to make that happen? And what are you willing to do? I'm going to teach this little technique that I created before we get into the hypnosis tonight. I'm going to teach you this little technique. And I call it the blink and delete technique. Some of you have heard me, you've been in my presentation, you've been in my class, and you've heard me talk about it. But I think it's a very simple technique, but I think it's very powerful. And I think this technique is our way of upgrading our brain. Continue to upgrade our brain. And this is how it goes. Are you all ready for this? I believe that we're geared to thrive as human beings. And given the right environment and the right opportunity, we will thrive. I believe we're only ever making the best decisions that we can. very few of us are purposely making bad decisions. I think we're making the best decisions we can, but I think we're only ever making those decisions with the information that we have in that moment. One of the scariest things about us as human beings is that most of our beliefs about who we are, what we can, what we cannot achieve, most of those beliefs were created by a child under 7 years old. And that's a pretty scary thought. I have a saying, I think it's in the Jesuit religion. They say, and some of you have heard this, say, give me the child till he's 7 and I'll give you the man. That's a pretty scary thought, isn't it? You would not have a 5-year-old girl making a lifelong decision about what you're capable of. You'd not have a 4-year-old boy deciding on who you are or what your worth is. And yet most of the beliefs we're walking around with were created by a child under 7. So the blink and delete technique goes like this. When that voice is in your head saying, you know what, you're never going to achieve this. Who do you think you are to even want that? You're not good enough. You can't do it. You know that voice we all have at times? When you hear that voice in your head, you ask this question. When did I make that decision that I'm not worthy of this? When did I make that decision I can't do this? When did I make the decision? So you ask that question. Now, I promise you, when you ask that question, you will immediately go to where you made the decision. You won't need 20 years of regression therapy to get there. You'll immediately go to where you made the decision. And the hard part of this is to not think, can that possibly be true? Because many times you're going to go back to a time before you were 7. You'll be looking at your 4-year-old self or your 5-year-old self, or maybe your 13-year-old self. But you'll immediately go there. When did I make that decision? How old was I? Where was I? Who was I with? And was it even my decision? So you ask that question. You'll immediately go to where you made the decision. And you're going to look at it again from where you are now, from the evolved person that you are now, because you are. You've evolved. You're not the same person as you were 20 years ago. You're not the same person you were 30 years ago. You have evolved. So you look at it from where you are now, and you ask this next question. Now that I've evolved, is that decision any longer viable? Or is it an obsolete decision that I made in a less informed state? Right? You ask that question. Is that decision any longer viable? Or is it an obsolete decision that I made in a less informed state? And if the answer comes back, no, that's no longer viable, you blink twice and you delete that old decision. I promise you can do it. You blink twice, delete the decision. And then you go to neutral emotion. And I showed you a few weeks back how to go to neutral emotion. And that's not I don't care, it's neutral. And when you're in neutral, you can make the right decision. You can take the right action. You can get the right outcome. Most of the big decisions we make in our life are made in an emotional state. And when we're emotional, we're not functioning optimally. You're not functioning optimally if you're angry. You're not functioning optimally if you're jealous. You're not functioning optimally if you're crazy mad in love with someone. But yet most of the big decisions we make are made in a heightened emotional state. So you blink twice and delete that obsolete decision. You go to neutral, because in neutral, as I just said, you can make the right decision. You can take the right action, get the right outcome. And by doing this, you can keep upgrading your brain. You can do this while you're walking down the street. You can do it while you're on a treadmill. You can do it while you're driving, while you're on a bus. The moment that thought comes into your head, I can't do this. I'm never going to achieve it. I'm just not any good. I'm not worthy. You ask the question, when did I make that decision? How old was I? Where was I? Who was I with? Was it even my decision?
Freddie, are you going to teach us to go into neutral?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I did show you the other week, but I'll show you again tonight.
Thank you.
Okay. Very often when you ask the question, where was I? Who was I with? Was it even my decision? Very often, the fourth part of that question, was it even my decision? You'll find that very often it wasn't your decision. It was someone else's opinion about you. Maybe a well-meaning parent or a teacher said you're a sporty kid, but you're not very academic. Or you're this or you're that. And you think, well, I'm a child, they're an adult, that must be true. But it was only ever someone else's opinion. So you go to neutral, which I'm going to show you to do in a while, make a new decision. And by doing this, you can upgrade your brain. We don't have to live with decisions we made when we were 5 or 6 or 7 or 13 or 20. We don't have to live with it. We can just say, okay, based on that basis, does it suit me anymore? No. Then delete it and make a new decision. All right, you all got that? I'm going to show you when we do this little trip, I'm going to take you into that space. I call it TPM, Total Perception Management. The ability to have complete control of your emotions. Now, some years ago, maybe 4 years ago, I can't remember now, maybe longer. Time flies when you're enjoying yourself, they tell me. But I don't know how long ago it was. But I had an idea that we could, when I first thought about it, I thought about switching our emotions off, just negating our emotions. And when I put the idea out on Facebook, I think I can help people just, just switch your emotions off. And someone said, well, doesn't that make you more robot than human? If you can just say, I can switch off this emotion. And I thought about it for a while, but now I've been teaching it for years and using it myself. I would suggest it doesn't make you more robot. It makes you a more advanced human being. Because until you have control of your emotions, you are a slave to your emotions. Someone makes us angry, we think I have a right to be angry, and we indulge ourselves, especially us men. Someone cuts us up on the road, call them all our names on the sun, they're not even going to hear it, but now I'm in an angry state, and then you carry it into everything else you do. First thing to do is recognize when an emotion you're feeling is detrimental to you or the people around you. Accepting that, admitting that you're behaving badly if you're angry or jealous or anything else, and then being able to go to neutral. And the upside of this is, if you can negate an emotion, then you can ramp one up. So I'm going to show you to do both those things. Negate or go to neutral in a negative emotion. And if you're in a positive emotion, if you're playing with that beautiful grandson of yours, Mandy, and you're in that place of joy and love, ramp it up. I don't know if any of you have seen Mandy's little boy, George. He had a beautiful video the other day. How old is he, Mandy?
He's 5.
5. And he was showing a calf at the, country fair. And the calf's like 3 times bigger than him. And he's walking around with this beautiful calf. And you see him giving this calf a hug and stuff. It's a most beautiful video. So be able to ramp up a beautiful feeling like that, Mandy, or any other great feeling that we have.
Thank you.
That's what I want for all of you. So we're going to teach you how to do that in a moment, all right? But I'm going to take you on this trip. I call it a dream architectural therapy. So if you like, I'm going to take you 3 layers deep into a dream. And in that space, a few things are going to happen. 1, you're going to put down and let go of every negative limiting belief that has ever held you back. That's what's going to happen. And let go of all of your negative limiting beliefs, Lucy. Yeah. And then we're going to take you to a space of unconditional self-love where you can tap into that feeling. And then we're going to find the answers to the questions that you've been asking yourself about, you know, what path am I on? How do I get rid of this anxiety? What's it doing for me? How can I create that life I want? Okay. And I'm going to bring you back. But in the meantime, while we're in that space, I'm going to show you how to have complete control of your emotions. Are we all ready for this? It's a bumper packed hypnotherapy session.
I'm
Everything's...
ready, Freddie.
You said that, Liz. Hi, you're ready, are you? Good. Liz was in The Hague. Gwyn was there. Liz was there. It was a great time. We had a really good time there. Really good people to be around. Anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah, I'm going to throw everything, belts and braces, as we say in the UK, at this. And be prepared, because you're not going to be the same person in about half an hour's time. So if you want to hang on to your fears and anxieties, if you don't want to achieve everything you want in your life, if you want to hang on to all your limitations, then you know you best go now, because otherwise, once you're in that trance, you're all mine. And I'm going to make you achieve everything you want to achieve. Okay, ready? See how much fun I have when Nick's not here and he's keeping me under control. I'm going to hide this video because otherwise he'll say, what were you doing? Right, and he'll tell me off seriously. Right, okay.
Freddie, before you start, it's Gwen. Did you remember to hit record?
I am recording this. Thanks to Doreen and you, Gwen. Thanks, yeah, for the backup request. Thank you. All right, you're all ready to go on this trip with me. Look on this as time out for you. I don't know whether Samantha's still here or she's fallen off the treadmill, but I hope she's okay wherever she is. Okay, you all ready? Get into a comfortable position. Make sure that you're in a safe position. You're not sitting on a windowsill 10 floors up with a hot cup of coffee on your lap or anything like that. Right, get yourself comfortable. Diana's already gone, look, she can't wait. Right, get yourself comfortable. Who's shaking your head at, Gwen? You're just as bad. You're just as bad. Yes. Look, Maggie's there already, look. Diana's there already. I don't even need to be here. Look, they've just gone into one already. Okay, ready? Get yourself comfortable. Place your feet separately, place your hands separately. And when you're ready to go on this beautiful trip, when you're ready to let go of all of your anxieties and fears and tap into all of your powers, take a breath in, hold it for a moment, and as you breathe out, just allow your eyes to close. Only as quickly as you're ready to create that life you absolutely want. That's right. Remember those other experiences of hypnosis you've had with me and how it's felt to sit and listen to my voice speaking to you. Remembering the words and the sounds and how it felt as you drifted into that beautiful space. Just for a while, nobody wants anything, no one expects anything. And there is nothing for you to do but to listen to my voice. For a moment, focus on your body. And if you can sense any tension anywhere, just let it go. Start with the very top of your head and allow your scalp to relax. Let any tension go from your scalp. Imagine having your head massaged. Let that thing spread down to those little muscles around your eyes and allow your eyes to relax. That's right. Let that thing spread down into your jaw. Especially you, Darlene. Just let your jaw relax. All that tension go. Imagine that's happening and there's nothing you can do about that. For a moment, just relax your lips. Seems a strange thing to say. Relax your lips. And notice when you relax your lips, how your central nervous system relaxes with it. Let your tongue relax in your mouth. Don't have to say anything. Just let your tongue relax. Let that thing spread into your throat. Let that thing spread into the muscles in your neck. And just for a moment, think about those muscles in your neck. How incredible your neck muscles. Holding your head up all day. Just give them a break. Let them relax. That's right. Just let your neck relax. Imagine having your neck massaged, your shoulders massaged. All of that stress, all of that tension just disappearing. Let that spread down into your arms, your biceps, triceps, forearms, your wrists, your hands, your fingers, relaxing completely. And as you do that, you may become aware of certain sensations. You may become aware of your pulse or your heart beating. As you relax even more, the muscles in your back, stomach and chest. Just for a moment, focus on your breathing. Get a sense of breathing in calm and breathing out tension. Breathing in confidence and breathing out doubt. And let that calm feeling spread down into the stomach muscles, your hips, your legs, your calves, your ankles, feet and toes. Every muscle, nerve and fibre relaxed. Like a handful of rubber bands just thrown on that chair, loose and relaxed. Get a sense of that happening automatically. Every word I say takes you deeper and deeper into that wonderful feeling. Just dropping down through space and time, down toward that place of ultimate bliss. Just when you think you've reached that space of profound hypnosis and trance, my voice, my words will take you 10 times deeper. Get a sense of that happening automatically. Imagine there's nothing you can do about it. That's right, the deeper you go, the better you feel. The better you feel, the deeper you'll go. Every word I say now doubles that feeling, takes you even deeper. Everything I say now is your reality. Every suggestion I give you, your mind and body will act upon. Without hesitation, it's now your reality. Just for a while, you'll see what I say you can see, feel what I say you can feel, hear what I say you can hear, and believe what I say you believe as you go even deeper. You have a conscious mind and an unconscious mind. And that unconscious mind, the back of the mind, that instinctive, intuitive part of your being that's monitoring your heartbeat, your blood pressure, your body temperature, that's scanning the environment, keeping you safe, can continue to hear, to understand, respond to those things I might say without the need for you to do anything at all. It's so much easier for the conscious mind simply to relax and enjoy that letting go. That's right. Letting go even of the effort it takes to make the effort that it might take. To tell the exact position of arms, legs, or the entire body now that seems to drift through time and space. That wonderful free-floating place of effortless relaxation and letting go. Allowing events to occur in their own time, in their own way, as you drift as a mind. And that mind drifts without boundaries, without borders, without limits. Get a sense of yourself out there, living your life the way you want to live it, with a new understanding about your worth and your value, knowing exactly what you need to do to love yourself enough to treat yourself to the health the life, the finances, the freedom that you want. Get a sense of yourself out there completely free of all limitations, free of the past, free of the future, free to live in that moment. Get a sense of that and notice the way you move and the way you breathe in that freedom. Free at last. Step into your body, feel into it, get a sense of what it feels like to be free, to be creating that life you want. And ask this question: how much fun is this? How much fun can I make it? How important is it for me? Because now you know how good you're going to feel. Everything about your nature, your mind and your body is inclined toward making it happen. You want that freedom. You want that health. You want that finance. You want that life. And now you know how good it's going to feel. Everything about your nature is inclined toward it. You know exactly what you're willing to do to create that health and that life. And you have within you all the resources, all the strengths, all the natural intelligence to make that happen. Every limitation's gone. Imagine that's happened. And there's nothing you can do about that. Even at first you have to pretend it was something that was said to you, something that was done to you. You really have no choice. Every ounce of anxiety's gone. Every ounce of tension's gone from your body. You have a clear understanding and a clear path in front of you. Get a sense of that now. See the sun breaking through those clouds, illuminating that path. You know what you want, you know how to get there, and you know what you're willing to do to make it happen. And you want that freedom, you want that life that you want. Get a sense of that now. Just for a moment, we are standing at the top of a flight of 5 steps. 5 safe steps that lead down into one of those beautiful gardens that you see in those ancient homes. You can see the lawn stretched out, neatly cut, the hedges, the flowers. Get a sense of those flowers in that garden, the colours, the perfumes filling your senses now. And as I count down from 5, we're going to take those steps into that garden together. And I want you, as we step down into that garden, to feel the energy and the love in this Zoom. Everyone on this call, get a sense of that connection, that communication at an essence level. 5, going down to that garden. 4, 3, 2, 1. And now we're in that garden. Feel the softness of that grass under your feet. Feel the magnetic force through the earth, transferring through your body, lighting you up. Feel your body being energized by the earth as we walk across that grass. Smell the perfume of the flowers, see the colors in your mind. Now you can see it. There's an old oak bench on the pathway, carved out of a single piece of oak, hundreds of years old. As we make our way over to that bench, and we sit on that bench, and we look across that garden, and we look up into that blue sky and the freedom, we close our eyes and we go into a sleep. And in that sleep, we go into a dream. In that dream, we are walking through one of those fields of gold that Sting sings about, wheat and barley. It's a cool breeze blowing across the top of those plants like a golden wave on the ocean. Perfume in those plants filling our senses, the softness of those plants against your skin. And as we walk through that field, we stop for a moment, just to be in that moment, to be in that present moment, in the silence now. How incredible are you? You are loved, you are loved, you are loving. Get a sense of that now as we stand in that field. Nothing else matters except this present moment and being in that space together. And as we continue through that field, it opens onto a pathway, a clear, open pathway where you can see your future. And that pathway leads down into a valley, and there are wild flowers as far as the eye can see. the colours filling your senses, the perfume filling your senses. And as we walk down that pathway into that valley, each step takes you deeper and deeper into that beautiful space. Nothing bothers or affects you, nothing disturbs you. All that matters is that feeling of freedom and the sound of my voice. And as we walk down that pathway, you can see it. There's an old oak tree, hundreds of years old, by the side of that pathway. Its branches overhanging the pathway. And as we pass beneath those branches, and we feel the coolness of the shade, the sunlight shining between the leaves like diamonds. And we can stop for a moment and think about the people that have sheltered there over those hundreds of years, lovers that have met there, friends that have met there. And we can feel the energy from those friends and those lovers as we stand underneath those branches in the coolness of the shade, with the light shining between the leaves like diamonds. And as we continue down that pathway back out into the sunlight, and you can see it now, there's a river that's running through that valley, running to somewhere miles away. And we're on that riverbank. And you can see the leaves and the twigs drifting down that river on the current. And you notice there, tied to that riverbank, is an old rowing boat. It's been left there, forgotten about, abandoned for years. Dried leaves in the bottom of the boat. It's one of those boats that you see in the parks in the summer. It's got a number on the side, but the paint's faded. You can just about make that number out. And that boat's been left there, forgotten about and abandoned. And as you sit on that riverbank, you notice on your back is a rucksack. You haven't noticed it before, but now you can feel the weight of it. And in that rucksack is every negative, limiting belief that was placed on you throughout your life. Every ounce of hurt, pain, sadness, every angry word that was aimed at you is in that bag. Placed in there so subtly over the years, you haven't even noticed the weight of it, but now you can feel it. It's been weighing you down, it's been slowing you down. But you can see me standing in front of you. You can feel me unstrapping that bag and taking it off your back. You can see my arms and my legs straining under the weight of that bag. But watch as I carry it over to that boat and I put it in that boat. Notice the boat goes lower in the water under the weight of that bag that's been holding you back and slowing you down. And watch as I undo the rope that's holding that boat to the riverbank and push that boat out into the river. And watch as the current catches that boat and moves it down that river. That number getting smaller and smaller, you can hardly see it now. And watch as that boat disappears round a bend in that river and out of sight. We lay back on that riverbank and you feel that lightness of being, that feeling of freedom. We lay on that riverbank and you can picture that boat way out there on the ocean, a tiny rowing boat, laden down with the past. With every angry word, with every hurt, pain, sadness, every limiting belief, every irrational fear, any anxiety. And watch as a wave washes over that boat, takes it to the bottom of the ocean, thousands and thousands of feet below into the darkness. And in your mind's eye, you can get a sense of that boat hitting the seabed and that bag spilling out and all of those things from the past being buried at the bottom of the ocean, never to affect you again. And as you look up into that blue sky, you close your eyes and you go into a sleep. And in that sleep, you go into a dream. And in that dream, we are walking into the most incredible, beautiful light. A light of love for everything and everyone, part of and apart from everything in the cosmos. Get a sense of that now, that connectedness. There is no separation, part of and apart from everything in this universe. And feel that love now. Think about the people you love. Think about the people you've helped with your words, your kindness, your skills. How incredible are you? I notice as you stand there in that light that the essence of who you are is just pure energy, pure intelligence, light and love. That is who you are. And notice that everything that's not that was learned. It's not you. And as we walk through that light, you can see it. There's a door, like the door to a bank vault, a massive steel door. There's a dial on it, and there's a number pad beside it. 3 numbers pop into your mind. Punch them into that keypad, and the light goes green. And we are turning that dial on that door, and we're pulling that door open. You can feel the weight of it. We're stepping into that bank vault, and on the wall, some safety deposit boxes, and one of them has your name on it. We go over to that safety deposit box, and you open that door, and you pull out the canister. You take it to the table in the middle of that bank vault, and you open the lid on that canister, and there is a photograph of you, having created the life you absolutely want, free of all the tension, free of all of the limitations, clear pathway, freedom. You can see it. See that smile on your face. Step into the photograph, feel into it, get a sense of what it feels like to have created that life. And ask the question once again, how much fun is this? How much fun can you make it? How important is it for you? Because now you know how good you're going to feel. Everything about your nature is inclined toward making it happen. You step back out the photograph, and underneath that photograph is a piece of A4 paper. It's folded in half. And when you open it, there in your own handwriting are the answers to the questions you were asking me earlier, of what you need to do to be free of any anxiety, what you need to do to see clearly the road ahead, what you need to do to create the business you want, create the life you want, the body you want, the happiness you want. The answers are written in your own handwriting on that piece of paper. And you are memorizing those answers. You're storing them in that part of your mind that's there for the answers, because you know you can achieve it now. You know you can do this, and you want that life. You want that life badly. You are willing to do whatever it takes to make that happen. Fold a piece of paper up and put it back in the canister. Take one more look at that photograph, put it back on top of that piece of paper and shut the lid. Take the canister, put it back in that safety deposit box and close the door. We're walking out of that bank vault now. Feel the weight of that door as we close it, spin the dial, and that light goes back to red. And now we're walking into that light, that pure light of love, feel into it. A feeling of total unconditional self-love. Get a sense of that now. How incredible are you? Because you are love, and you are loved, and you are loving. The essence of who you are is pure energy, pure intelligence, and pure light and love. Get a sense of that now. And as we stand in that light together, you realize that you're in a dream you're having on that riverbank. And as you realize that, you're waking up on that riverbank, and you can see the river, and you remember the boat now buried at the bottom of the ocean, all of that stuff from the past. And you feel that lightness of being. Now we're walking back up that pathway out of that valley with a new lightness of being, a feeling of joy, a feeling of happiness you haven't felt for a long time. You can see that oak tree now, and as we pass beneath the branches once again, the light shining between the leaves like diamonds, you feel the coolness of that shade. And we walk back out into the sunlight, the sun on your back, and you can see that field of gold. And as we walk back into that field of gold, smell the perfume of those plants. And we stop once again for a moment to just be. How incredible are you? Every limitation's gone. Imagine that's happened. Every ounce of tension in any part of your body that was holding you back has gone. Every doubt that clouded your view is gone. You are free, free to be. And as we stand here in that field, you realize you're in a dream. A dream you're having in an old walled garden on that bench. And as you realize that, you're waking up on that bench. You're looking across that garden, the lawn, and the 5 steps that led down into that garden. And we're walking over to those steps, you feel the softness of the grass under your feet. Now we're at the bottom of those steps. In a moment, I'm going to count to 5. And we're going to run up those steps with a new energy, a feeling of life, a feeling of joy, a feeling of freedom, free of the past, free of every limitation, free of every irrational thought, free of all the anxiety and tension in your body. Free to be. Get ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're at the top of those steps, looking out across that garden. And you can see that old oak bench where we sat and fell asleep. And you realize you're actually in the most profound, wonderful, deep state of hypnosis. Sitting comfortably in your chair, listening to my voice. In a moment, I'm going to count to 10. And from today, whenever you need to access a feeling of neutral emotion, where you can think straight, where you can make the right decisions, take the right action, get the right outcome, you just snap your fingers once, or you clap your hands once, and you'll instantly go to that space of neutral. From today, no matter where you are, what you're doing, if you need to think straight, you need to make a big decision, you snap your fingers once, or you clap your hands once, and you'll instantly go to that space of neutral emotion, where you can make the right decisions, take the right action, get the right outcome. And from today, if you're in a feeling of joy or love or passion or pleasure, happiness, you just snap your fingers twice and you're going to ramp that feeling up. Now you have complete control of you. In a moment, I'm going to count to 10. Every suggestion I've given you, your mind and body will act upon. On 8, your eyes will open. You are going to feel incredible because you are incredible. You are loved, you are loved, you are loving. And on 10, that feeling of freedom, that new understanding about your worth, your value, and just how incredible you are, is going to grow stronger day by day. As you move toward creating the life you want, by helping others create the life they want. How incredible are you? So get ready as I count to 10. This feeling of unconditional self-love, this new understanding you have control of your emotions, that you can change any decision you made in the past that no longer serves you, is going to be clear in your mind, and you will see clearly the path you need to take to create that life. You're going to do it fearlessly. So get ready. 1, feeling absolutely wonderful. 2, to create the life you want and do it fearlessly. 3, a feeling of freedom from every limiting belief that was ever placed on you. Imagine that's happened and there's nothing you can do about that. 4, feel the force of that energy and unconditional self-love flooding through your body and mind. 5, feeling incredibly alive now. 6, 7, 8, eyes opening, feeling absolutely incredible. 9, 10.
That's great, Freddie.
Thanks, Queen. Well, I think everyone's back in the Zoom. Diana's she's much better at coming back out of this now. Normally we have to all shout at her and get her back out. But yeah. And Gabby and I have got the same shirt on. How did that happen? Okay. Well, look, I hope you enjoyed it. Wow, still at it, Samantha. We're all very proud of you, Samantha. In fact,
Hey, I already started pulling what I wanted during that session. It came to me. No
Good.
joke. Oh my
Good.
gosh, so good.
Good, good.
Yay.
Well, I have to tell you, you've made me incredibly tired just watching you, but it's been nice. Thanks. My legs are worn out just watching you work out on that treadmill there.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love
Anyway.
it. So
Let me
Yeah,
know. I know you know where you want to go now. Let us know at some point when you're on your way. But look, I hope you all enjoyed it tonight. And accept whatever happens. I don't want to be a minute from now, an hour from now, when you suddenly realize you're thinking differently. All of your fears and anxieties have gone. Imagine it's happened. There's nothing you can do about that. There are no limits. What do you want? What do you need to do to make it happen? What are you willing to do to make that happen? This is such a sweet life. I know we have things wrong with us. You know, we have illnesses. My eyesight's going. That's bugging me. My hearing's going. That's bugging me. You know, there are certain things that my body slowly but surely is breaking down. But I think, you know, I'm 72. It's a privilege to be 72. It's a privilege that millions of people don't get. So as much as I can complain about not being able to see as well as I could, or hear as well as I could, or walk as well as I could, there are lots of things to be grateful for and lots of things to do yet. So look after yourselves. Look after this transport that we have. And be kind to yourself, all right? Okay. Yes, it was an Inception style hypnosis. Yeah. That's where the idea came to me when I first watched that film, Martin, actually. A dream within a dream within a dream. So I don't know, it'll be an hour from now when you suddenly go, you know, I know exactly what I need to do now. Because you already had the answers. Okay. Is there any questions before we say goodnight, say good morning, or wherever it is you are in the world? No?
Thank you
Gabby's,
very much.
Okay, Linda, it's really great to see you. Gabby's ready to go back to sleep.
I have a question, Freddie. Is it important that the guide is with the person during that?
I always purely because I'm selfish. I like to go on that trip myself.
Okay.
I often think, you know, especially when I was working kind of full-time one-to-one in my office, I just think, you know, where do I want to go today? It'd be nice to go to the beach. You know, it might be nice to do some astral planing or whatever. And I'm going to take the client now. You know, I'm there with you. If you watch the video back, you see how my eyes are closed all the time. I'm in it with you. You know, why would I not want that experience myself? And I think if we're in it with our client, Gwyn, I think it's easier to paint the picture. We have to do it, you know, like we say when we're doing guided imagery, we have to be artfully vague. I don't say see the red and yellow flowers because that's not what you might be seeing. You know, so we can say get a sense of the flowers, get a sense of the perfume. Then it leaves the client the space to feel the colors and the painting. So when we're doing anything like guided imagery, be artfully vague about it. But because then every one of you has been on that trip with me, and every one of you have been to a different place. And I've been with you on all of it. So it's been great. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Veronica. I hope you enjoyed it. Was that hand up to ask a question, Veronica?
Yes, I have a question. I think when I'm like in hypnosis, when I come out, I don't usually remember what happened there at all. And I know like most of it is subconscious mind, but sometimes I kind of like to know what kind of happened there. Do you have any feedback about that?
No, there's a video though. You can watch it back. Yeah. When I'm working with a client, you know, on anything really, you know, like if it's a fear and anxiety, or it's a drug problem or alcohol problem, I want to give my client amnesia for the session because I think some people are very analytical and then they're going to go out and they're going to go, why did he say that? I remember him saying that. What did he say that for? And they're going to pick it apart and trying to consciously analyze why we said what we said. I trust that your unconscious mind heard everything I said and it will take from what's needed for you, you know, because Darlene had a different goal, but tomorrow she's going to wake up and realize she hadn't been grinding her teeth. You know, Liz has a clear understanding of the path in front of her. You know, someone asked about, you know, being anxious or whatever, that's going to be free of that because your unconscious mind will take from, that's the joy of metaphor. You can tell I have like 5 metaphors I've used for 35,000 clients. in different, different situations. When we're told a story or we're taken on the journey, the mind assumes there has to be some importance to it. It does what's called a derivational search for meaning. If you're talking to someone and they use an analogy to explain something, your brain does that derivational search for meaning, and it will take from it what's meant from in that situation. And so you could tell the same metaphor to thousands of people for different reasons, and the chances are they all take from it what's needed in that moment for them. So you can look back at the video, and you have the trip again, but do it as a passenger, to just enjoy the experience rather than trying to pick it apart, if you like. And that's my suggestion, all right? But yeah, when it comes to things like phobias or habits or drugs, what I tend to give my clients amnesia for the session, because I want it to be 3 days later they realize they haven't had a cigarette, or a year later they realize they haven't been afraid of spiders for a year, or they've been going on holiday without worrying about it. That's my goal, is that they forget about me and they forget about the problem, and they just, because my thinking is this: as human beings, we're built to use oxygen, fresh air. Smoking is completely abnormal, if you like. So when we quit smoking, it shouldn't seem like some epiphany, because all we're doing is going back to normal. If you look at it like I look at it, that every automatic behavior you have, if you're playing a piano and you can do that automatically, we call that a skill. If you can drive without thinking, you call that a skill. If it's a detrimental habit like smoking, we call it a bad habit. But the programming is exactly the same. And any behavior you're carrying out that you can do without thinking is, to some extent, a trance. So really, when we're doing our work, a lot of the time, all we're doing is taking people out of the negative trance they're in and leaving them in a positive trance. That's how I see it. I start with the premise that every one of you knows the answer to your problem, and every one of you has the resources and the strength to overcome it. And my only skill is getting you out of your own way so you can get in touch with your own strengths and abilities to overcome the problem. That's how I see what I do. It's not me doing something to you. It's not me reprogramming you. It's getting you in touch with your own abilities to change. And given, like I was saying earlier, I believe we're geared to thrive. And given the opportunity, your unconscious mind will go, yes, let's do that for you. It wants you to be as well as you can be. So all we're doing is putting you in that space where you can get in touch. Like today, I didn't give you the answers to your questions, but you found them. They're already there. When people say to me, like, I don't need a cigarette. I've had that fear for 30 years and now I don't have it. It's like, they say you're magical or you're some kind of wizard. No. The fact is, they always could overcome that problem. They just didn't know they could. And that's how I see what I do. So I'm glad you enjoyed it, Veronica, what you remember of it. But accept whatever happens. What I want for all of you is that it's an hour from now, it's a week from now, you suddenly realize you've been living differently, living without the anxiety or the stress, that your jaw's relaxed, darling. Imagine that's happened and there's nothing you can do about it. Okay, look, I'm going to say goodnight to everybody. I'll say good afternoon to everyone, and be happy. Take care. Lovely to see you again, Liz.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Freddie.
Freddie.
Thank
Good to see
you.
you.
Good
Great
information.
weekend.
you.
Great weekend,
Lovely to see you,
everybody.
Yasmin. I'm
Cool.
coming out to Berlin soon. I'm going to make that happen. All right, take care, all of you. And I'll see you again
Get
soon.
lucky, Freddie.
Bye.
Canada, Freddie, come to Canada.
I'm definitely coming to Canada. I'm gonna, Mike Mandela's invited me out again. Well,
Okay, good.
He said at Hypno Thoughts Live, We must get you back out. So I'm going to push him on that, and I'll see you when I get there. All right. Take care, all of you. Have a beautiful weekend when it comes round.
Bye.
Bye now.
Thank you,
night.
Freddie. Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank
Take care.
you.
Thanks, Doreen, for your help.
No worries.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Don't tell Nick, but you are my favourite PA.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
Bye.
See you
Thank
later.
you.
Bye.
Thanks, Freddie. Bye.
Take care. Thanks, Gabby. Look, our shirts are almost matching.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Good taste. See you later. Bye, Maggie.